CTV News with Jackie Scantlebury.
Good afternoon. A petition calling for government intervention in the Crow's Nest Pass Civic Affairs is now going door to door, and it's growing rapidly. The petition officially launched at a community meeting last night. By today, it was on display in businesses, and residents were going door to door gathering signatures. Terry Vogt reports.
On Main Street, Blairmore, one local resident signed up 10 people in less than 10 minutes. To petition organizers, it's a clear sign that there is widespread unrest over recent decisions by past council and the administration. And while residents are concerned about high taxes and high fees, many say the dismissal of a local fire chief and resignation of nearly 90 volunteer firefighters was the final straw.
They're amazing, these firefighters, and they've been treated unfairly, and I think it's just atrocious.
I knew we were going to get a lot of people, but to sign over 400 names last night was absolutely remarkable.
A Thursday night meeting organized by the Pass Ratepayers Association attracted so many concerned residents that many had to stand outside. Organizers have been calling for the mayor and council to reinstate the Blairmore fire chief and back down on some controversial plans. They say council's refusal to negotiate has riled up the community.
The comment that if we have to rip down foundations and build new ones, we're going to do it, but this town will be a better place in 7 years, well, we don't believe that. So that's why we went ahead with everything.
About 60 local residents are now going door to door throughout the Crow's Nest Pass, gathering signatures for their petition. The goal is to collect about 1,200 names before the end of October. Terry Vogt, CTV News, in the Crow's Nest Pass.
The Ratepayers Association says it has 30 days to gather enough signatures and then send the petition to the Municipal Affairs Minister. Well, a surprising development in the battle to stop clear-cut logging in the Castle Special Place. The province is stopping logging in the area after this fall. In January, the Castle Crown Wilderness Coalition spent 3 weeks protesting logging in the Castle Mountain Special Area near Beaver Mines. 4 of the protesters were arrested after they refused to leave, although all of the charges were later dropped. Spray Lake Sawmills began logging the area in February. Work was expected to last 3 years. Now the province is putting the second and third years of the project on hold pending the outcome of the South Saskatchewan Regional Land Use Plan. Protesters say halting logging will be a huge reprieve for bears and other wildlife in the area.
Of course, this is just a suspension of the logging, but we feel that with the public support that we have behind us and the obvious economic benefits that will accrue from making the castle a protected area, I think we will finally realize our dream, which has been promised so many times, and actually get legal protection for the castle area.
The group will be in court November the 1st to challenge the sawmill's permit to stop logging for this fall. Under the province's revised plan, Spray Lakes is still allowed to clear cut a total of 50,000 cubic meters of timber this fall. A preliminary hearing date has been set for a Claresholm man charged in the murder of a Vulcan senior. 36-year-old Timmy Engel is charged with first-degree murder and indignity to a human body. 77-year-old Otto Bunty-Luce was kidnapped from his Vulcan home in January. His dismembered body was found a few days later near Claresholm. Engel's preliminary hearing will begin March the 11th, 2013, and it is scheduled for 6 days. Just last week, the Crown stayed a charge of obstructing a peace officer against Engel's former girlfriend, Bobby Jo Parks, in connection to the case. A Medicine Hat man has passed away from West Nile virus. It's the first death from the illness in Alberta in 5 years. 66-year-old Ron Sept died on October the 4th after what his family describes as a brief illness with the virus. Sept's funeral was held Wednesday. Alberta Health Services says there have been 10 cases of human West Nile reported in the province this year. Across Canada, there are over 400 of cases of West Nile infection. That's over 200 more than were reported the previous year. Alberta is the only province where there's been a death so far. And limited operation continued today at the XL Foods meatpacking plant in Brooks. The facility had been shut down because of tainted beef. The Canadian Food Inspection Agency says XL passed maintenance and safety inspections earlier this week and gave the go-ahead to partially resume operations. However, the regulatory agency says it needs to see workers in action before it allows the company to fully become operational again. While they can process the 5,000 cattle carcasses already in the plant, they can't send the meat to the retailers yet. The U.S. Department of Agriculture has also announced it's coming north. For the first time in 3 years, the auditors will look at Canada's meat and poultry food safety inspection system and the eligibility of products from Canadian meatpacking plants, especially Brooks, to be exported into the U.S. without such illnesses as E. coli. Meanwhile, the Premier says a public inquiry into the E. coli contamination isn't necessary, despite calls for one from the plant's union and some opposition leaders.
Sometimes things don't go well. It's unfortunate when they don't go well. There are certainly impacts when they don't go well. Every single time that something doesn't go well, we don't need to have a public inquiry. We have to learn, we have to take the time to sort out what has happened.
Not all grocery stores are feeling confident about the XL Foods plant, and some are considering dropping it as a supplier. Lethbridge police are investigating 2 cases where women were assaulted by an unknown man. Both incidents happened overnight in the downtown core, and in each case, a woman was physically assaulted. One woman had minor injuries, the other wasn't harmed. Neither woman knew the man, and it seems that they were randomly targeted. Police are looking for a black man, 30 to 40 years old, about 5'6", with a medium build and shaved head. He spoke with a very heavy accent. Anyone with information is urged to contact police. Well, Lethbridge's Member of Parliament helped present the Queen's Diamond Jubilee medals to 30 Canadians today. Jim Hillier presented the medals at a special ceremony this afternoon at the Lethbridge Lodge. The recipients were chosen by a committee of Lethbridge residents from all walks of life. Our own Daryl Rummold served as the Master of Ceremonies. The medals are being handed out to 60,000 Canadians to honor the 60th anniversary of the accession to the throne. Lethbridge wrapped up Fire Prevention Week by choosing a new honorary fire chief from Senator Buchanan Elementary School. Seth Fowler was chosen to wear the chief hat and uniform, and his classmates joined in as crew. Seth was one of the kindergarten to grade 3 students who wrote an essay asking to be fire chief for the day. All of the students also learned about fire prevention and safety drills. Seth is pumped to spend tomorrow as the honorary chief, riding in the fire truck and visiting all of the city's fire stations.
I just didn't know what to say. I'm out of my breath. I'm just really excited.
During Fire Prevention Week, emergency crews handed out fire safety books and DVDs to more than 3,000 students. And students at 2 southern Alberta schools joined counterparts at 135 schools across Canada today in an attempt to establish a world record for the largest practical science lesson. Noble Central School in Nobleford and the Arrowwood Community School were part of a nationwide effort to break the record. About 250 students and staff from Noble Central and about 80 students at the Arrowwood School conducted 2 experiments on fluid dynamics. The record-setting attempt coincides with National Science and Technology Week.
We're doing Bernoulli's principle, which is regarding air pressure, and so there's 2 experiments. One involves 2 balloons, it's called kissing balloons, and the other one involves water and straws, and it's called the water mister.
I mean, it's pretty cool that we get to be in the world record book and our school's gonna be listed in it, and yeah.
Over the next few weeks, the participating schools will be collecting all of the required evidence and passing it on to Guinness to determine if they managed a new world record. And a group of some very dedicated hockey fans in the Pincher Creek area are gearing up for a grueling 24-hour hockey game that gets underway in less than 2 hours. Nearly 50 players will hit the ice, 7 tonight and play until 7 tomorrow night. Money raised from the event will go towards a new piece of heart monitoring equipment for the Pincher Creek Hospital. The organizers play old-timers hockey, and they say heart issues are a concern for some of the local players, and it was easy to get behind the project.
There's 3 different old-timer teams that are sort of around town here, and we've all kind of combined to make this happen.
We've actually got a guy on the team right now that's got a heart problem, and he's going to be having surgery in November. So that kind of made it so that I wanted to get involved.
The organizers are urging the community to show up throughout the night and tomorrow. They're hoping to get as many people out around 4 p.m. Saturday to cheer on the players as they finish up the last few hours. Dory's here with our look at weather for the weekend. Our average for around now is usually about 14 degrees, and we are going to be well above that for the next few days.
Yeah, we're going to do very well, Jackie. We actually hit 19 degrees. We were expecting 17 today, so even today was far above what average is for this time of year. And you're right, next little while we're going to have above average temperatures. Not a heat wave, but we'll take it, and lots of sunshine. I'll talk to you in a couple of minutes about what's coming up.
Thanks, Dory. Well, Canadian country music's rising star made a brief stop in Lethbridge this morning. Kira Isabella joined Bobcat Wesley on air at Country 95 to play a couple of songs off her debut album and talk about her ever-growing career. She's just finished the Western Canadian leg of a tour with Carrie Underwood. Isabella is also the winner of the CCMA Rising Star Award, an honor that she didn't expect to receive.
It feels pretty amazing. I'm really happy that it's finally out there. I've been working on it since I was 16 pretty much. So it's basically my baby. There's a song on it called My Diary actually, and I kind of tossed around the idea of calling it My Diary because it really is. But I'm just really excited that it's out now and I get to hear people's feedback about it and perform my new song. So yeah, it's really exciting.
Her debut album, Love Me Like That, is available in stores and on iTunes. She's performing tonight in Calgary. And WestJet's new regional airline will be called Encore WestJet. The name was chosen by WestJet employees in a vote. The regional airline will launch in the second half of 2013 using Bombardier Q400 aircraft to serve smaller Canadian communities. Lethbridge and Medicine Hat are both vying to be those communities, and its routes, though, won't be announced until early next year. So what does the color of your car say about you? If it's white, you're in a big crowd. White was the top paint color choice this year worldwide, making up 22% of global auto sales. Coming in number 2, black with 19% of sales. Silver or gray are the third most popular choices. The least popular color? Green, with just 2% of drivers wanting to stand out or perhaps blend in with nature. Time now to look in at the financials and see how the markets wrapped up the day.